Hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. How's everyone doing? Are we having a good Monday? A good start to the week? Hi. Good morning. It's not morning really, but like it is like earlier in the day. You know, I used to stream always like pretty late, and I've thought a lot about it. Like as I was preparing for my return stream, I was like, when do I want to stream? You know, because realistically, I guess I'm just getting old. I don't know. I'm like tired. I get sleepy, guys. I get real sleepy, and I'm like, I don't know if I can stream like past 6 p.m. much these days. Now, every now and then, I'm not saying I won't stay up late and maybe I'll do a random stream at night every now and then, you know? I'm not saying that would never happen, but as far as like more regular streams, you know, and possibly some scheduled streams, I don't know about late nights. I don't know. I'm pretty tired. I get sleepy. Hi, it's been a while since I've heard a non-ASMR strawb. Well, hello. You know, some people say my voice is like ASMR no matter what. Unless I'm playing Valorant and I like start screaming, and then I'm not really sure if that's like very ASMR. Maybe. If you're into screaming ASMR. There's an audience for everything, right? There's an audience for everything. There's something for everybody. You know what I mean? I got my water. We're staying hydrated. How am I doing? How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm having a pretty good day. So today we're going to chat a little bit, obviously. I do want to play marbles eventually. We haven't did that in forever, and I just felt like that would be kind of fun today. I also just kind of want to talk about some stuff. Like, you know, I talk a lot on Twitter, and I don't really usually come on stream and share my thoughts. I don't really know why. Maybe because it's like kind of scary, you know? Like when you make a tweet, you can kind of just like make sure you phrase everything exactly how you want. And when you're live, it's like you're kind of giving your like raw, unfiltered feelings, and that can be a little scary, obviously, because like, you know, you don't want to say something and be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or did I say that right? But I'm like, you know what, I think I want to, you know, talk to you guys more and share my thoughts on some things. So we're gonna talk about some stuff. You might have seen it on my Twitter with all the Tenz and Kaide stuff. I'm gonna ask if this is okay. Obviously, you guys are free to, you know, put your own opinions and stuff in the chat. However, we need to keep it respectful, okay? I don't feel like that should be an issue. I feel like you guys are usually pretty good, I would say. Like, my community is pretty good. I've seen some people say some kind of out-of-pocket things about this, and I'm going to give you my feelings on it if you don't already know my feelings on it, because I have spoken about it a little bit on Twitter. I got some backlash. That's okay. I'm going to be honest. My goal always is, like, I just always want to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, I want to, like, speak, you know, honestly, and if it offends someone, well, it's how I really feel, so it is what it is type thing, you know what I mean? And if you disagree with me, or if something I say, you know, bothers you, I'm sorry, that's okay, we're allowed to disagree, but like I said, let's just keep it civil. And yeah, that's all I really want. And then we are going to react to a video that Rev actually uploaded yesterday, because I am somewhat featured. And not entirely, but the person that the video is about, they do mention me. So I thought it would be interesting to maybe do a little reaction, see what's going on, you know, what's happening. and give some of my own thoughts for that. So, yeah. I feel like that drama is a nothing burger. I've never cared about famous couples. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I have no idea about this Tenz thing. I'll happily have you in the background listen. Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Hold on. Get me over in the other section. Yippee! I need to make myself a little bigger, I feel like. I'm kind of small. There's all this empty space, you know? Also, I don't have a chat going on behind me. I know it says chat. I don't know if I want my YouTube chat on the screen, but I am actively working to get this thing installed that will help me be able to put your super chats on the screen. Obviously they pop up and stuff, but like I know there's like a way to actually like click it and it gets put up on the screen, but I can't do that at this moment, so I'm sorry. Bear with me while I'm learning things. I thought this meme was very funny and like really relevant to the situation in my opinion. The myth of consensual breakups. Consensual in quotes, because obviously it could never be consensual, but I digress. You know, he consents, she consents, but Twitter... Isn't there somebody you forgot to ask? Isn't there I think there was somebody that they forgot to ask, and we're gonna find out who that was today. So... This is kind of one of the tweets that, well, this is Dexterito's post of the tweet. Kaede actually posted it on her account, and then Tenz retweeted it. But it shows that streamers Kaede and Tenz confirmed they ended their relationship after 6 years together. That's them. And I'll just say, like, you know, first thoughts, don't know much about them. Sad, you know, I mean, it's sad. Someone's together for 6 years. That's a long time, you know, that's pretty sad. But they weren't married. I believe they were engaged for the last, since like, I believe 2022 they got engaged. Pretty long engagement. No marriage. But this is what they wrote. And according to, well, what they wrote, it says that they wrote it together. She did post, under her post, a photo of him, where she was like, this is us when we were writing this together. But it says, hey everybody, Tyson and I feel ready to share some personal news. We've actually been broken up for quite some time now. Towards the end of our relationship, we came to a realization that wasn't easy to accept. We had stopped growing as individuals. I mean, that's just how they feel, you know? If this is important to you, it's important to you. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in their relationship. I don't know, you know, how they feel about, I mean, clearly they care about each other still, but like, I don't know. They, you know, they go on to say, like, for their relationship, they did all these things together. They've been together for a long time. Even though it was 6 years, it felt like it was at least 30. They moved in together apparently just weeks after meeting. And it sounds like they got together pretty young. So from 17 to 24. And they are saying, you know, we needed space to grow into our own people. We know the internet looks for the tea, blah, blah, blah. But they say they just grew apart. That's what they claim. They claim that they grew apart. That's what they say. You know, I'm just reading right from the horse's mouth, right? So they're pretty much just saying, you know, we still care about each other. We want the best for each other. Thanks for respecting our privacy. Well, can you guess what the internet didn't do? The internet did not respect any privacy. Which, like, are we surprised? Are we surprised that the internet would not respect someone's privacy? And, you know, I've seen a lot of people say about this, like, already, well, they shouldn't have posted it publicly. They shouldn't have made a public post that they broke up. Because if you're making a public post, you're basically inviting scrutiny, right? Which, like, I'm not going to discount that. I understand in a way that argument, but at the same time, they're both, like, popular figures. Like, and I hate to compare it because me and Rev are not breaking up. obviously we're gonna be together forever. But it'd be like the same thing, right? Like if me and Rev in a hypothetical world, like we're not together anymore. Well, we've been so publicly together, it's like you would feel like you need to say something, you know what I mean? If you're both like content creators that like are always, you know, online. You know what I mean? I don't believe in jinxing stuff, guys. I don't believe in jinxes. I believe in Jesus Christ. No biggie. But you know what I mean? Like, I understand why they would make a post like this. I get it, you know? Am I saying I don't know what the right thing to do is, you know? This is a difficult situation. But I digress. They made their post. They let everyone know, you know, their relationship is over. So naturally, of course, the internet didn't take it very well. The internet said, I don't consent to this breakup. And we started seeing some pretty wild things. This was my tweet. I got a little backlash on it. I got some support. There's definitely a lot of comments on it, and that's fine. I definitely saw some people saying, like, Tenz should have left her. If you didn't know, she had cancer for a while. I believe she's good now. She had cancer. I saw people saying he should have left her during her cancer treatment. Saying that he gave her bone marrow, which, you know, later on you'll find out. I'm going to read his post later on. He comes out and says that's not true. Don't know where people just pulled that out of a random box they created. But yeah, so the post says it's mutual. Yet, so many people, including people on, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's right to say, like, my side of the aisle. Like, I saw some, like, more Christian. I saw multiple, like, Christian VTubers. Some other, like, Christian creators that I follow. And just general, like, more, like, conservative people. I mean, saying some pretty harsh things towards her. Which I guess I'm confused because I don't see any proof about anything leading me to believe that, like, this is all her fault. You know what I mean? I'm not getting where people are deciding that she did something really wrong. She broke his heart. He's just, well, you'll see. So I guess I should read some of the comments on this one, right? Because this is kind of where it exploded. So we have Kongman. I did not like his take on this at all. I have a lot of respect for him. I don't agree with there are a decent amount of takes that I don't agree with. And again, like, all love, we are mutuals. I think he can be a real sweet guy, but sometimes he says things I just can't agree. But I digress. I don't know. This is, I guess, like, some hat. I think this is the guy that people were saying she was cheating on him with. I don't know. Because they were wearing, like, this frog hat. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This is sad. This is like true. You're telling me you can be high school sweethearts, be there during cancer treatment, practically go up together, and still not be the end game? I mean, it is pretty black pilling, right? Like, I won't lie. Like, it's sad. I mean, you know. Then we start seeing comments like this. Finding yourself equals want to have sex with other men. Interesting. You know, and then, like, there are comments like this. There are no reason whatsoever to grow as an individual. It's like, I see where someone could be coming from, but at the end of the day, like, it's not your relationship. I feel like it's not your business. You don't really know, like, you don't know all the ins and outs of their relationship, why they feel the way they feel, why. I just feel like a normal and mature response to this would be like, this is sad. Sorry to hear that. Wish the best for everybody. You know, if you're a Christian, maybe pray about it. Like, if that's something you feel inclined to do. You see this a lot. Bro sacrificed his pro career, gave her clout and fame, took care of her through cancer battle, and she still leaves him. Again, I'm still not seeing where it says that she left him. I'm still not seeing that anywhere. And you know, there are a lot of people saying that, well, he's gonna protect her. Of course he's gonna protect her. He still loves her, so he's not gonna say it. But yes, it could never be mutual. The truth is, like, I'm sure it could be. We should just take their word for it and move on. You know? But I saw a lot of people during this part, because at this point, she was the only one who had said anything. I don't know if he had retweeted it right away or if he retweeted it later. But this was posted on her account. So I saw quite a few people saying, well, you know what? I'm going to wait until Tenz says something, because, you know, Kaide, I think that's how you say her name, like, she posted it. So it's, you know, it's from her perspective, clearly. I don't know. I'm going to wait until he says something, right? So, you know. Also, I said this because I feel like some of the comments, this got me some heat. This got me some heat. I said, let's be honest, some of you are actually a bit misogynistic and need to work through that. It's like people... I mean, people act like the word misogynistic is not real. Like, it could never exist. But it's like the word racist, right? People call me racist. There's no justification for it. They'll call me a Nazi. They'll say all these things. And it's like, yeah, that's stupid. You're watering down the word, whatever. It doesn't mean that racism doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that, like, nobody can be actually racist. And, like, similarly, if your response to this entire situation, where everything very clearly from both of their perspectives is, it's mutual, we still care about each other, blah, 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 and you say, of course, she wants to sleep around. Of course, women are all like this. Women. It's like, okay, would you have an issue if it was a woman saying, men suck? I hate all men. Men are just a problem. And women do say that, by the way, and it's wrong. And it's also wrong when guys say that all women are a certain way, and just women. And I get, you know, some of these comments are jokes. Some of these replies, I kind of laughed a little bit. I get they're being funny. They think it's silly. And some people might not even know the full context of what I'm talking about. Some people might not even know who I am. And they might think, oh, this is just some, like, liberal, crazy girl. You know what I mean? I don't use this word lightly, okay? But, like, I'm sorry. Some people got some internalized hate going on. Some people got something, like, deep down. It's in some, and I see it with women as well. And I think it's almost like an over course correction of, like, you know, it's like you want to support men, and you think it's bad, obviously, when, like, crazy feminists are like, men suck, I hate men. Like, I agree. But it's like they're doing, like, a major course correction, and they're like, and so, yeah, women suck. It's like, okay, people can suck. You know, men and women, anyone can, but, you know, I digress. So I said this, I got some comments, you know, I agree, I have to polish my misogyny even more to make women know how much I hate them without saying a word or moving an inch. Obviously, like, these are, like, sarcasm, I would hope, you know. No, I don't think I will. And so, you know, Morphbox was like, what even is misogyny at this point? You know, it's been tossed around so much. And I'm like, yeah, no, I agree, you know. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not been tossed around a lot. Excuse me. And then I'm like, okay, I'll give you a definition, you know. So, like, we can all understand. And I get, like, people could use this definition and say, okay, well, that's like saying, like a you know, if you believe, oh, oops, I don't know what I clicked on. If you believe stay-at-home, you know, wife is a good thing, that's misogyny. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. And I don't agree with that, obviously. But, like, just to say that the word doesn't exist or that no one can, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. This person said that's what sucks about all of this. When real misogyny happens, we've developed a reflex of sorts to immediately dismiss it, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, people are going to roll their eyes at me and call me a woke feminist. Because, of course, people are like, you know, this feminist over here. It's like, actually, I'm just honest. Like, I just say what I believe. Skyline, thank you so much for the membership. I appreciate it. But that's why, like, when people will be like, Strawb is such a grifter. She's a grifter. I'm like, I feel like it's so obvious that I'm not a grifter because I'm so honest and I upset everybody. Like, if I wanted to be a grifter and I wanted a super hard grift to the right, I would be like, women should not have any rights, blah, blah, blah. I believe in, you know, revoking the women's right to vote, blah, blah, blah. Like, things that I genuinely don't believe those things, but, like, I would say those things if that's what I wanted to grift. You know what I mean? Remniark, thank you for the membership for 13 months. Thank you so much. But yeah. So people were a little upset with me. This person said, Quantum, thank you for the membership too. I appreciate it. This person said women are responsible for their actions just as much as men are. I agree. Cruelty and disloyalty deserves to be called out. I agree. That's not misogynistic, it's equality. I agree. I agree with everything this person is saying. I just don't see how that, like, correlates to anything I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I agree with all of this. Why are you saying this to me? And they say, I had to unfollow you on YouTube because of hostile comments about Catholic Christians. Please don't go down a bad path. Now, that just caught me off guard because, I mean, you guys come to my streams, right? When have I ever made hostile comments about Catholics? Yeah, I've said that I'm not Catholic. I have some, you know, doctrinal differences that I don't really agree with. I've said many times I consider Catholics to be, you know, my brothers and sisters. Bob, one of our favorite members, he's like very, very, very Catholic. I talk to him all the time. I'm reading Trent Horn's book about, you know, some Catholic apologetics. Like, I don't know what that came from, but just not true. I'm not sure, unless maybe they were just offended that I said, like, I disagree with something about Catholicism, but, like, I'm just being honest, you know. I never said anyone was, like, a heretic or anything. I don't believe that. I don't know, I guess they were probably just offended about something I said that I disagree with, but I'm sorry. Actually, not sorry, but yeah, weird. So, like I said, VTubers are all the same, unfunny, regarded women. Cool. And then, yeah, like, again, it just keeps going. Yeah, I should be more misogynistic. It's like, okay. I've never seen you say anything bad about them. I mean, yeah, because I haven't. Like, I don't think I have, but anyways, so then, you know, everyone was saying, I want to hear what Tenz has to say. I want to hear what Tenz has to say. This is all from Kaide's perspective, you know, I want to hear. So then Tenz comes out and he shares how he feels. He says we parted on completely mutual terms, you know, hey everyone, I've been seeing a lot of really weird posts about Kaide and me. Oh, Logie Bear, thank you so much for the $5 dono. I appreciate it. Thank you. We are actually talking about Tenz and Kaide and their breakup and how people are just like totally going crazy over it. Yeah, people are really upset. And I kind of gave a take that I feel like not many people on my side of the VTubing space I feel like a lot of people were giving takes that like I disagreed with, and I said something and I feel like I got a little bit of flack for it, but I mean I feel like I'm in the right with everything I said, so I'm gonna share it. But yeah, thanks again, I appreciate it. And Night Scholar, I appreciate it. I'm Catholic, I've never been offended. I feel like I try to be pretty, like, respectful whenever I do have disagreements, you know, because I have a lot of respect for I have a lot of respect for, you know, Catholicism, for Orthodoxy. Like, even if I don't 100% agree with everything, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know that I 100% agree with everything that I see in evangelical churches either. So, you know, I'm just doing my best. I just love Jesus, okay? I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. I'm learning. But I don't try to be, like, you know, rude or hateful like that to other people that are, you know, Christians and stuff. But I digress. So, yeah, Tenz gave his statement, right? Hey, everyone, I've been seeing a lot of really weird posts about Kaide and me that are creating false narratives and spreading unnecessary hate. It's really disheartening to see. We parted on completely mutual terms. And we still care deeply about each other. It honestly hurts so much to see her being attacked when we both supported each other through insanely difficult times. I also quit playing pro of my own accord and was never influenced by her to quit. People's goals can change over time, and that's what happened with me. In a healthy relationship, there should never be comparisons about who sacrificed more or gave more. That mindset is immature and helps nobody. All I ask is that you please respect Kaide as a person and respect the decision we made together. This kind of pointless drama is exactly why having a relationship in the public eye can be so draining. She is also still dealing with ongoing health issues, which makes the negativity being spread even more heartbreaking and unfair. Thank you for understanding, and once again, please respect our decision. I mean, it's a breakup. You would think someone just did something illegal the way they are. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... But of course, do you think that people read this and respected their decision? Once again? Do you think they respected it? No. Of course they didn't respect it. Yeah. Everyone's just, you know, people who think, and this is someone who actually follows me, no hate, I just disagree with this. People who think mutual terms exist in relationships are still young and naive. It's plainly obvious that he still loves her, but she is now seeing other men. I'm sorry, where is that plainly obvious? Like, I just don't understand. Like, is it me? Is it just me, chat? Am I just young and naive? I don't think I'm that young. I mean... I'll admit, I can be a little naive sometimes. I think I'm better than I used to be. But I don't think I'm stupid, you know? I'm just not understanding. Something is just, it's just not adding up, chat. It's just not adding up. Oh, thank you so much, Rolando. Thank you for the $5 super. Hope you have a great day. Found you from Side Scrollers. That's awesome. Much love. Yeah, definitely not just me. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me. Like, people saying, it honestly hurts so much to see her being attacked. Inside, they think he's, like, laughing, I guess. He's actually thinks it's just funny. We parted on completely mutual terms. We still care about each other. Meanwhile, him reading the posts. This is kind of, like, dark. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you guys, like, are praying for, like, people to be, like, I don't know. It's, like, messed up. I don't know. But so, you know, that was his post. I just read it. People are not being normal about it. But he actually goes on to make another post. Yet again, because people still will not be normal on the internet. It's impossible for someone to be normal on Twitter. I know, it's shocking. So Tenz says this. Okay, this is genuinely disgusting that people are still spitting out BS onto the timeline. There's some stuff I am going to clear up since people are just throwing around blind hate to push a narrative that is non-existent. John is a friend of both mine and Kaide. And I guess John is the person people were accusing her of cheating on him with, and I think he was the guy wearing that frog hat. Maybe, I don't know, and I don't know. Apparently she went on a trip with him because they hung out on a trip that I was supposed to come out on but had to cancel last minute with one of my best friends from high school there who was with them, who is also conveniently cropped out of the photo. Interesting. So I guess there was a third person in this photo that they cropped out because, of course, that wouldn't have looked as good for their narrative. To once again push this crazy cheating story is effing wild. Maybe before people start speculating things in a relationship they have absolutely nothing to do with, they should focus on fixing their own insecurities so it's not projected outwards. Also, I have absolutely no clue how people started saying I donated bone marrow to her. So people just, I guess, made that up. He didn't donate bone marrow to her, apparently. So yeah, he is upset, clearly. This is, I mean, I think he makes one more post that says, like, he doesn't actually care. I feel like it's clear he cares. I feel like it's okay to care. You're a human being. I mean, I've seen some pretty disgusting things. Like, I can't, and I haven't even, like, you know, sat there and dug, but, apparently there are, like, entire Reddit threads and people saying that she's been cheating on him, and, I mean, you know, people are being internet detectives, and they, so I said, maybe you guys should try to stay offline for a little while, avoid looking at it. I mean, I can speak from experience. It's never good for your mental health to look at all this stuff, especially when people are just, like, creating false narratives that are not even true. And I understand what it's like to be so frustrated because you sit there and you see people saying things that are just genuinely not true. Like, it's one thing if someone is critiquing something I have actually said, even if I disagree with them, like, that's, like, a different thing entirely, you know, but it's like, it's a special kind of frustration that you can feel to see people, like, constantly spreading misinformation and, like, genuine lies, like, maliciously or not, and then especially when they end up getting, like, I've seen posts with, like, 15,000 likes, like, upwards of who knows how many likes, you know, just to, yeah, get engagement. And I mean, who knows why people are doing this, but I was like, unfortunately, many people do not care about anything you or her are saying, and they want blood. They've already made their mind up. So, definitely parasocial behavior. And it's just actually crazy. Very crazy. So. And then, you know, of course, you're still going to see these comments. You know what I mean? Like, you can literally yell about this until you are blue in the face. You're still gonna get, and I don't know if it's just rage bait, if these guys genuinely believe these things. People just love to stir the pot. They love drama. And I get it, you know, drama can be addicting, and obviously, like, everyone gets, you know, but it's different whenever you're spreading lies to, like, make drama worse. Like, he is sitting here telling you as a girl, he's a grown man, okay? And he is sitting here telling you what is happening. And at this point, anyone who's saying otherwise, they're just choosing to say, I actually don't care about you. I don't care about what you have to say. I think you're a liar, and women suck. And women are all whores. I mean, let's be honest what these people really want to say, right? Man, you know, I don't care. Women are all whores, and, you know, they just want to sleep around, and they'll use you. And are there women that will be that way? Of course, because there are bad people in the world, whether they are men or women, but, like, to just assume. And that's what kept killing me about this, is because, like, you know, it's just so frustrating, the assumptions that people make and the leaps that they make. And it just boils down to, like, you kind of have something against women. Like, I'm not saying that you hate all women. I'm not saying, like, you know, a lot of these guys, they have no issue with me, right? Because I'll say things that they agree with, but then it's like, I don't know. I'm like, clearly you have something against women. There's a little, even if it's just the tiniest smidgen of, you know, you got some bias, maybe you got burned, maybe there was a woman who really did you dirty, and you've just never been able to really, you know, heal from that. I don't know, but, and that's sad, right? Lion, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Internet behavior is a sad thing, but you know, and I get it. I get being burned by, you know, awful people, and I think that's, you know, on whether you're a guy or whether you're a girl, odds are you've probably had some kind of bad experience with someone of the opposite sex. But it just doesn't give you a right to, like, generalize lots of people and just make assumptions without any proof, you know? Logie, thank you for the $10 super. Things are heated in the internet space nowadays. We should all try to pray for each other and try to be as forgiving as much as we can. Oh, no worries. Have a nice time at work. And I agree. I mean, obviously, and people call me, like, soft and naive and all of these things, but truthfully, I just don't see any evidence, you know? If there was some evidence to show that she did something really wrong, like she cheated on him or, you know, and there was some real proof of that, by all means, I understand people, you know, criticizing someone. I mean, that whole, like, Sarah Stock thing that happened a few days ago, I don't know if you guys saw that, and that Milo guy posted a screen call of, or a call of her and him, and she was, like, admitting that she had an affair with a married man, and, well, he was married, and she was, like, dating, and then she got engaged, and apparently she ended it when she got engaged to her now husband, but her husband still didn't know about it, and I guess they were dating when the affair, but either way, it's like you were sleeping with a married man, like, that's really bad, and he has kids, and there was, like, proof of that, right? Like, that, I mean, she deactivated, like, I don't know, it looked pretty bad to me. I mean, it was her voice, unless it was AI, but I don't feel like it was AI, but you never know. That's a whole different can of worms, because, like, AI has made things so complicated, but you know what I mean? Like, if there was, like, you know, some real serious proof of something bad, by all means, criticize people for what they've done. But to just make assumptions about things because you have a bias, whether it's against men, whether it's against women, whether it's against anything, I just don't think it's good, you know? I think it's bad. But that's me. I'm just honest to a fault. And honestly, this whole situation just kind of, like, was really frustrating to me because I just kept seeing so many people, including so many of my mutuals, saying, like, awful things about her and, like, how, oh, it's just so sad because, like, you know, you just know that she wants to go sleep around now that she's cancer free. She wants to go and just, you know, he's not enough for her. And I'm just like, why are you just making all, like, you just have, like, a whole head canon going on, you know what I mean? And, like, it's just crazy. And I'm pretty sure the Bible says to not, like, be gossiping and stuff. And, you know, of course we're all guilty of that to a certain extent. But whenever you're saying things that are true, that is different than, like, you know, spreading things where you don't have any proof. Like, that's, you know, what would that be? If you have no proof of something and you're just kind of guessing, and you can say, you know, I mean, I've seen people saying, oh, what's the phrase? What's it called? People are like, I'm not noticing, but it's like when things happen so often. So they're like, I'm just noticing the way things are going. There's a word for it. My brain is, like, not working and I can't think of what people call it. Pattern recognition. Thank you. Yes, of course. I'm sure you guys have heard, and you guys might, and I'm not saying there's no, you know, I get what people are saying, but to use the excuse of pattern recognition in this situation to just assume that she just wants to go off and hoe around and that it was all her and none him when they're both saying that's not true. I mean, at that point, you're just calling them both liars with no proof and just assuming things because you have a bit of a bias, I feel like. But that's just my opinion. You know, I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you guys think I'm really off base? Like, you think I'm crazy? Maybe don't tell me I'm crazy. Obviously keep it constructive, which you guys have kept it constructive, and, like, kind in the chat. I mean, do you think I'm being rude? Do you think I'm being, you know, wrong to say that I feel like, you know, some of my mutuals have gone too far and said some stuff that are kind of out of pocket, if I'm being honest. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry, Rev had to talk to me. Everyone knows. They're like, hi, Rev. Hi, Rev.
Hello.
He had to say something to me real quick. You're fine. He was like trying to mouth it to me, and I was like, oh, let me just mute for a second, because I cannot read your lips. Let me read what you guys are saying. I think you're being fair. I agree with you. I don't know too much about either party. Were they really dating for 6 years? Yeah, no. No, and I agree. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think, and to be fair, they did get together when they were really young. I still don't, I mean, I personally don't agree with, and I'm saying this, by the way, as someone who did this, okay? I lived with Rev before we were married. I did that. I was not religious at all at the time. In fact, I was like the very opposite. But like now with like my current beliefs that I have, like I don't think it's good to shack up. 6 years without being married is a long time. I get they were pretty young, so it does make it a little different. But I you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, it's their relationship. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't married. And again, like, it's just not really any of my business. You know what I mean? Like, they both say it was mutual. They both say they're breaking up. That's, like, their stuff. You know what I mean? That's, like, them. That's not me, you know? So, pattern recognition is just dumb with things like this. Just because some women cheat don't mean all of them do. Just because some men are abusers doesn't mean all of them are. It's way too broad for patterns. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, for sure. I think obviously you need proof before you're like, well, that's like kind of my whole point of this, right? Like, I think if you're going to start saying things, I think you need some proof. You know, you need some proof before you start accusing people of things. Or even just saying, well, of course we don't really know, but I can assume. You really can't assume because you don't know, you know? Like, you can assume something is going to happen. Something could happen. Like let's say every single day at 3 o'clock, the mailman comes by your house. I don't know. This is like a random weird. It's like you can assume that's going to happen because it could happen every single day. But like, you know, would you want to put money on it? Maybe. But then what if one day the mailman's sick? And he doesn't, you never know. We were talking about that in church the other day. It was something about like, you never fully know something is going to happen. You can assume, but you could be wrong because you can't see the future, you know? And unless there's no specific proof, and of course people say if you would assume it makes a butt out of you and me. I won't curse, but yeah. Literally 2 people just said that. They got held for review. I'll show your messages though. I'm trying not to curse anymore. I'm doing pretty okay. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it just comes out and you're like, oh, I didn't mean to. I've been married 25 years now. Stay humble in your marriage. Life has ups and downs, so hold tight to Jesus and your spouse. Yeah. I mean, I think that's awesome. And congratulations on the super long marriage, by the way. That's amazing. That's awesome. I definitely hope to have a very long and happy marriage. But yeah, I don't know. This whole situation was just kind of crazy to me, so. And I guess I just hate, what the heck? My thing just, hold on. I'm not moving. Why am I not moving? My motto is like being all weird. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I don't know why. No, my phone's fine. Like, I have a full battery. That was weird. It just stopped. I closed VTube Studio and reopened it. But anyways, do you think it's okay to operate on your best educated guess regarding incomplete information? Is the risk of being wrong too great? I mean, I feel like it just depends on the situation, you know? I feel like it just depends on the situation. I've never had a partner myself. I've been single my whole life so far. Oh, I'm sorry. I believe in you. I believe it's never too late. You're turning 35 next September. It's still not too late for you. I promise. It's never too late. Never give up. Never give up, chat. Although sometimes I don't know how much you've gone out there and tried, but sometimes it requires some extra effort on our part, you know what I mean? And I say that as someone who like serial internet dated my whole life. Which, to be fair, at the time, when I met Reb, I was still relatively young. I mean, obviously, I wasn't like in high school or anything. I was in college, but you know, towards the end of college, when I met him, and so I was still relatively young. He was obviously not as young, but you know, I just never like would date people. I went on a few first dates in college. They were always, they were like, it was just never like, there was no spark, if you will. It was always like awkward, which, I mean, to be fair, I didn't go on that many, but the ones I did go on, they were just like not, you know what I mean? And I think part of it too, and maybe this was like more of my own issue, but I felt like I couldn't relate to people, especially because I was online so much. And I'd always like internet dated people, and never really dated anyone in person, really. So I was like, oh, these people can't relate to me at all because I spend like all my time on like the internet. Like I'm on Discord and I'm on, you know, Twitter or whatever, you know what I mean? And I'm like, and I'm playing my games and I'm talking to my internet friends, and these people probably think I'm a giant weirdo. And like, you know, you know what I mean? So I feel like that was also kind of like that also like made it hard for me to like want to date, like, I hate to say the word like normie, but like, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of how it felt. Was like, will they even be able to relate to me? Will they feel like I'm a weirdo because I'm on my computer so much? And like, like at that point, like most of my friends were on the internet. Like I had a few friends in real life, but it's always been that way for me. JS True, thank you so much for the $10 super. I think I saw you in Side Scrollers chat the other day. It's nice to see you over here. I appreciate the dono. Thank you so much. And I appreciate the sweet message too. Stopping to say hi during a brief break between emails. Oh, nice. I'm doing pretty good. And Rev's doing pretty good too. Thank you, guys. But yeah. So I was honestly like, my like my dating history was just like non-existent in real life, really. Like I said, aside from a few first dates, there was one guy I like saw for a couple months, very, very casually. It just never worked out. And I would just always like date people on the internet because like that's where I would hang out and spend all my time. That's where I met people. That's where I had all my friendships, you know. And it just happened to be that Rev was really interested in meeting me in person. Because honestly, if it wouldn't have been for him pushing it so hard, I don't know. I won't say that we never would have met in person, but like I definitely was not the type. Like I had never met up with anyone from the internet, like ever. Like anybody, not even a friend. The thought of meeting up with someone from the internet was like terrifying to me. Like it was almost like there's a reason that I spent all my time on the internet. Like I didn't want to be around someone in real life, you know what I mean? Because it was like scary. So yeah. Plus there's like a real vulnerability with like being with someone in real life. Like even just like a friend, you know what I mean? Like just like being with someone, like in the same room as them versus like, I don't know, chatting with them over Discord. It's just different, you know? Thanks for the follows, guys. Dating apps never worked out for me. Spent money for premium and everything. Yeah, I feel like also, I mean, so many of the dating apps, like, people really just wanted to hook up for a lot of it. And then, like, if they didn't want to hook up, I felt like, I don't know, and part of it was on myself because, and this is going to sound super sad. Do not judge me for this. I think I've actually shared this before. But whenever I would like swipe, because like let's say like on Tinder, like you swipe right if you are interested, you swipe left if you're not, right? I would like see someone I was really attracted to, like I'd see like a guy, I'd be like, oh, he's really good looking, and I would swipe left because I was like, he's too good for me. I'm not even going to waste a swipe because you only get like so many swipes a day. I'm like, I'm not even going to waste a swipe because he's definitely not interested in me. I'm not good enough for him. And it's crazy because like, if I would have seen Rev on Tinder, I definitely would have also swiped left. You know what I mean? Because I would have been like, oh, no, he's not going to. You know what I mean? It's almost like you don't even want to be, what's the word? I don't want to cry right now. But it's like you don't even want to be like, what's the word for it? Like rejected. Like you're going to reject them before they have a chance to reject you. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you wouldn't even want to swipe right because then it's like, well, you know they're not going to swipe right on you. So you just swipe left and then you only swipe right on the people that are kind of like, I don't say this to be mean, but like I'd see a guy, I'd be like, he might be a little weird, but I'm a little weird, you know? But it was like, he was never like, actually there were a couple guys that were nice. We just really didn't like click, I feel like, but there were a couple guys where it was like, they were the bad kind of weird. Do you know what I mean? Like one guy followed me around and like drove by my house a couple times. And kept showing up, like staring at me, from like, this after school program that I, would volunteer at. And he found out I was going there and he started showing up and he would just like weirdly stare at me from across the room. And so it's like, you know, there's like a good type of weird and then there's like a bad type of weird. And I'm like, you know, Rogue, thank you for the $5 super. We're all nice, but if the freaks inside don't align, there's never a spark. It's true. No, it's very true. But yeah, so I can't lie. I got real, I mean, I hesitate to say the word luck, because, like, I believe it was, like, God that put me and Rev together, because, truthfully, he's my best friend, you know, like, he really is. I love him so much, and not to get all mushy or anything, but, you know, and I think that's, like, the most important part of a relationship, though, is, like, obviously, like, love is a choice. You have to choose to be together every day, even when things are difficult and hard sometimes. But, like, at the end of the day, you have to, like, not only love them, you have to, like them. Like, you have to, like, they need to be, like, your best friend. Like, if your partner isn't also your best friend, if you're just with someone because, like, you think they're attractive, or you like what they can do for you, or, you know, like things like that, I don't feel like that's a good foundation to have a relationship. I feel like your partner needs to be your best friend. You need to want to be able to spend every day for the rest of your life together with that person. Not saying you can't ever have breaks, you know, like people go and do their own thing or go out with your friends, whatever. But like you need to be comfortable, like at the end of the day, coming home to this person for the rest of your life, you know? Because that's what marriage is. You know, you get married, you live together, and you're together hopefully forever, you know, as long as you both shall live type stuff, you know? So, and that's why too, like when people say things to me like I saw someone commented under one of these tweets. I don't know I think it might have been this tweet that I made. And someone was like, I feel bad for Rev or something, the divorce is coming. And I'm like, first of all, that's such a messed up thing to say to somebody. Like, practically, like, that's been said to me so many times. Like, if it isn't some random person telling me that they think I should divorce my husband because they don't like him. Gary, thank you for the $10 super. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But it's like, yeah, if it's not some random person being like, Strawb, which it doesn't happen as much these days because I'm honestly a lot more open about how I feel about things. But I feel like a couple years ago, even like a year ago, when I wasn't as open about how I felt about things, like, you know, with my religion or with some like political type stuff, I would have people, including like other VTubers. I remember this one person in particular, like, I remember people would just like message me, you know, and they would be like, listen, like, you're such a good person, Strawb. Like, why are you with him? Like, I just don't understand. Like, and then, you know, I see people saying, like, he groomed me to be with him, and he groomed me to be this way, and it's just crazy. But, like, I just don't understand what goes through someone's mind to be like, oh, I'm sorry, you guys, because you guys are obviously going to get divorced. You guys are never going to make it. Like, it's just crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, we've been married for going on 3 years now. We've been together since 2020. It's like going on like 6 years now. Like, I think we're okay, you know? You know what I mean? I for those people, I wonder how long their current relationship has lasted, if they have one. And I don't say that to be mean. I just say it to be honest, because, like, I feel like you're projecting something onto me. Because that's just kind of crazy, you know? You forgot about their consent. Exactly. You know, Rev consents, I consent. And they're like, Strawb, you're a good person. I don't consent to this relationship. But that's like that's not for breakup. That's for the relationship. Right? You're not a mean person at all. I mean, nobody's perfect. I've definitely been mean in my life. You know, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I've always been an innocent angel and I've never did anything wrong or been mean to anyone ever. I feel like I'm definitely a lot better of a person than I was, like, even a few years ago. Like, I've grown up. I mean, when I first met Rev, I was, like, what, 20, 21? Like, I'm, you know, I don't always share my real age often, but people know. I'm in my 20s. And so it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I've grown up a lot, even just the last few years. And so, I don't know. I just do my best to be, like, a nice person. But it's never enough. It's never enough for these people because they don't consent to our relationship. Hold on, I gotta get some water. I'm, like, so thirsty. Was thinking about getting into VTubing, then Phase Connect happened. I don't want to develop a social media presence. What do you mean by that? Like the Phase Connect drama with Jelly? That was a mess. That was so stupid. Like, that was just so dumb. All she said was, like, I don't want politics in my video games. And people, like, went crazy. And then they made their statement, right? They were like, we don't condone racism. Which, like, okay, I hope not. But also, like, I don't think she was, like, doing anything race. I don't know. And then it kind of looks like it's like they're talking about her. And then some people are like, well, if you have a good faith interpretation, maybe they're not talking about her. But it's like, either way, people are going to read it and, like, interpret it as it being about her. And it is about her at the end of the day. Like, the whole situation was because of what she did. And it's just like, I'm pretty sure as a whole company, FaZe has had, like, many other things happen where they have not made public statements. You know? So it's like, why is this? Why is this requiring a public statement? You know what I mean? Also, she's not even American. It's like American politics. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure she's like, I don't know exactly where she's from, but I know she's not American. Sakana, racism bad. Also, Sakana, Jerry is a tree monkey. I've seen people talk about that too. I don't like really follow Jelly. Like, I just haven't really seen any streams or anything. And honestly, like, I've watched Pippa, and I used to watch another talent that's not with them anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand. That whole situation was just weird. It was very weird. Very, very odd. You will give us your opinion or else. You will tell us how you feel. I think there, you know, maybe a hot take, but I feel like there's enough VTubers giving their opinions, like, on all sides of the aisle, right? Like, excuse me, like, I give my opinions. There are lots of VTubers that kind of lean, like, centered of right, whatever, blah, blah, right of center, whatever. There are also lots of VTubers who lean left. You know, I feel like there are plenty of VTubers, like, if you really need to get your political opinions from a VTuber, if it's really that important to you that, like, your political opinions and feelings come out of a anime girl's mouth, if it's that important, I promise you can find some. Like, whether you're, like, on the left or the right, or you're somewhere in the middle, like, let me help you. Let me direct you. You know what I mean? Like, leave the people that don't want to be political alone, because I can attest, as someone who does get political occasionally, it can be exhausting. All the way around. It's exhausting for me, for the people on the right, and the people on the left. Like, they all exhaust me, because I guess, I don't know if people think I'm just, like, a fence sitter, because I kind of am, I am, like, more of a moderate, I mean, I definitely lean right, but, like, I'm definitely more moderate than probably some people. I feel like I like to think that I have nuance, and I try to, I don't know, really, I don't know, it's just, like, who I am, but, like, I just share the things I really believe, and it happens to not always all line up extremely on one side. You know what I mean? But personally, I think, this might be a hot take, like, I think extremes are not good no matter, like, who you are. Like, pretty much, for the most part. Like, if you're, like, super, super, super extreme alt-right, I probably won't agree with you on stuff. If you're super, super, super extreme, would it be called alt-left? I don't know, like, left? I probably won't agree with you on stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you're somewhere in the middle, even if it leans a little left or a little right, I'll probably agree with you on some stuff. Like, I feel like that's just, you would think that would be common sense. You would think that would be, like, normal, you know? But, it's not. The left is pushing you further right by the day. It's hard, though, because then sometimes the right will, like, push me a little left. Not too far left. Maybe just pushing more towards the center, but I can't lie. Like, the people on both sides, you know? And then I get called a Nazi. It's the craziest thing to me, because I'm like, if I'm a Nazi, what do they think about some of these other VTubers? Like, I'm like the junior Nazi, you know what I mean? Like, what did Hitler, like, it was the Hitler Youth or whatever. Like, I'm like, it's like SpongeBob with, like, the Weenie Hut Jr. Like, I'm the Weenie Hut Jr. version of the Nazi, I guess, because, like, they're, like, over here saying the N-word and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even curse, like, or I try not to. I definitely don't say slurs. I never have. Just not something I want to do. It's not something I want to, you know what I mean? Like, but you would think I just say the most atrocious, crazy stuff based on what these people say about me. But, because, I mean, even with all the, and I'm not going to get into, like, the advanced specific stuff, but with the people that were, like, harassing me on Twitter, because I will say about that, there were people saying things about me and Rev, but, you know, obviously I'm going to focus on myself because it was about me, and they're like, you don't even want us to exist. You wish we were dead. What? No, I don't. Like, I genuinely don't. I would never, ever, ever say that or think that. And it's very frustrating because, like, when you see people say things like that about you, it's like, do they really believe it? Like, are they being, like, genuine? Or are they just saying it because they don't like you? And I think it's probably a little bit of both. I think there are some people that they really believe that I feel that way. you know, whether they're just like a leftist, whether they're trans, whether they're gay, I don't know, and they think that, like, I hate them. I'm like, no, I don't hate you. And they'll say, you know, you wish I was dead. No, I don't wish that, actually. I hope that you live a long, happy, and healthy life. Like, I genuinely would not, you know, feel that way. But it's like, I think some people are just, like, genuinely, like, they genuinely believe it. But then, of course, there are some people that they just say it because they don't like you, I guess. And I don't know, I really feel like a lot of people, like, mean what they say. Like, you know, everyone likes to call people grifters and stuff and be like, oh, this person's a grifter. I think there are definitely some grifters on Twitter, for sure. I don't believe I'm one of them. I believe I say what I really feel. I definitely see a lot of grifters on the right. Or at least what I would perceive. And of course, I'm not going to call anyone out. I see some people that I feel like they're kind of grifting. And I'm sure there are grifters on the left too. But I definitely do see it on the right. I see people that say, especially some of the women, they say some, like, really out-of-pocket stuff. I'm like, this might sound bad, but it's like, you almost hope they're grifting because you're like, do you really mean that? Or are you just saying that because, like, it's, like, cool in your circle? Or do you really mean that? Okay. You mean that. You know what I mean? Like, you almost hope that it's not true because you're like, dang, that's rough. Just pearly things. Oh, don't get me started on Pearl. Pearl is so frustrating. Gary, thank you for the $5 super. I think it may be a strange mental combo of strawman and projection. Yeah. Well, I just think some people genuinely believe if someone doesn't agree with them that they, like, hate them. Like, there are people who feel that way, you know? And it's, like, the same thing with, like, if you are Christian and you are a, like, Bible-believing, like, biblical Christian, and let's say you believe specific things based on that, right? Like, about marriage, about, you know, gender, about sexuality, about all these things, right? You could still say to someone, listen, I love you. You can live your life the way you want to live your life. I might not personally agree with how you live your life, but I can still love you and say that, you know, I hope the best for you. You can live your life. We live in a free country. Do what you want with yourself. You're a grown adult. You can live your life. But I don't have to personally agree with it. And there are still plenty of people, and there are some people that would say, I respect it. I respect it, that's okay. There are people that say that. There are many people that will say, so you don't really love me because you don't affirm what I do and what I believe, and you actually hate me and you want me dead. That's like where their mind goes. You know what I mean? And it's sad, like, truthfully, it's sad because, like, I think a lot of them have been conditioned to believe that. Like, it's just like people, you know, they're convinced that, like, if you don't affirm every single thing they believe, you don't agree with every single thing they believe, whether it's about themselves, whether it's about the world, whatever, then you hate them. There's no, like, agree to disagree. That's not possible with a lot of these people. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't agree to disagree because they say, well, you know, they just won't agree to disagree. Which is just frustrating. So, True Tune, thank you for the $5 super. By the way, did you happen to bake banana bread this weekend? You know what? I didn't. And I'm still a little offended that Kirsha won that situation, because no hate to Kirsha, I'm sure she bakes yummy stuff, but I am pretty confident in myself as a cook and a baker, and I was really offended, honestly, with how that went. I felt like everyone was just I was offended. But no, I need to make some banana bread. That actually sounds really fire. I was looking at this old recipe that I had saved on my phone last night for pumpkin bread. And it was, I think it was actually Kirsha who mentioned like cream cheese or whatever in her, I don't know if it was banana bread, pumpkin bread, whatever. But this one was like a cream cheese inside the pumpkin bread. And it sounds really good. So I'm like, I think I might need to do that sometime soon. Homemade milk bread. I haven't tried that. I think they need to accept the fact that they're not right about everything. Well, people can't accept the fact that they're not right about everything. You couldn't possibly. Or even, not even that you're not right about everything, but just that someone might not agree with you, or that someone might see something differently than you. But the real issue, I think, lies in the fact that not only can people not understand that people have different opinions than them, they automatically villainize the other side. And this happens on both sides, by the way. This happens on the left and the right. You see someone on the right say something, I don't know, about immigration, how they want immigration, blah, blah, blah. The left sees that, not all of the left, but a lot of the left would see that and say like, oh, you're racist, blah, blah, blah. You have bad intentions. They immediately say like they have bad intentions. Well, the same thing can happen on the right to the left. So a lot of leftists, including myself in the past, by the way, which I've been very open about this, are all about like trans rights, stuff like that. And there are many people on the right who will immediately say, you want to groom kids. And I mean, maybe sometimes they will say that they want to. And I'm not saying that's never the case, okay? I'm just saying that I don't believe every person who is pro-trans rights has bad intentions. Because I used to be pro-trans rights. And I know some of you guys are not going to like me saying this, but it's just the truth. I don't think that they all have bad intentions. Whenever I was like super pro-LGBT, I thought that that was like what was best for the world. Like I was just wanting to be a good person. And like I was always told like that was how you be a good person, was like support people. And if someone says they're a certain, thing, like you support them and and I wasn't religious. I didn't have any like biblical basis for anything. I wasn't reading the Bible. I didn't believe in God, because honestly, I try to let the Bible determine all of my beliefs now, because that's what I'm supposed to do. Doesn't mean it's always easy for me, But, yeah, that's the point though, right? It's like, not everyone that disagrees with you is automatically malicious. Some people just, and we might see it as ignorance at the time, but like even when I was on the left though, I was never like an extreme leftist that like hated all right-wingers. Was I really annoyed with them? Yes. Like my grandparents, I would like get in arguments with my papa. I would be like, you guys are so annoying. You're bigots. I would never call them bigots to their face. But like in my head, I'm like, oh, they're such bigots. Like I love them, but why do they gotta be like this? Like, why can't they just understand? Like, people are born this way. You know what I mean? Like that's genuinely how I felt. And so that's just how I felt. I don't know what to tell you. But it wasn't like I was like, I want to see the world crash and burn, and that's why I'm, no, I believed that was what was right. I did. I genuinely believed that. So, like, I don't think that all people on the left, are automatically, like, malicious and evil. I don't. I just wish that people would extend that same thing over to us, and some leftists do. Not all leftists are crazy, believe it or not. And not all right-wingers are crazy, believe it or not. There's crazy on both sides. And this is why I say I'm a bad grifter. People tell me I'm a grifter, and I'm like, well, I criticize everybody. So I feel like I'm a bad grifter if I'm criticizing everyone. hate politics. That's fair. It's hard. It's like, it's exhausting, honestly. And it's also exhausting to when you want to be informed, because like things happen in the world, you know, and there's a part of me that like really wants to be informed and wants to be able to make a concrete opinion on something. But then there's also a part of me that's like, I'm exhausted, like looking at this stuff and doing research into it, and like, because there's so much misinformation on the internet. One side says one thing, the other side says another thing. You try to get down to what the truth is. And it's very, very, like, at times, like, just genuinely, like, difficult. And so sometimes you almost just want to just, like, close it all and be like, you know what? And sometimes I do this. I'm like, I'll close it all and be like, you know what? Me having an opinion on it will not fix anything. You know, a lot of these like things that are happening in the world, I'm not saying you shouldn't be educated on things, but like if something bad happens, you know, like let's say someone dies, and it's like you're trying to figure out what really happened in this situation, you know, was there foul play, was there this, was there that? You coming to the truth about it and like digging, even if you find the truth, it's not going to change what happened. And so if it's giving you that much like stress and it's causing you that much like mental anguish to try and like dig into it more and more because everyone says something different and you just can't figure out what actually happened, or you just can't figure out, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's okay to just walk away from it. And similarly, when someone tells you, oh, well, to figure out what happened, you just need to go and watch the video of this person dying, you know? Because that's what it boils down to, is in order for me to figure out what actually happened, I need to go search up this video, maybe watch it a few times at least, and watch someone maybe get shot, maybe watch someone get ran over, maybe watch someone, I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I have to watch someone be killed on video over and over and over. That's not good for you. Like, I'm gonna be so incredibly honest. We have normalized things that are not normal. It is not normal to see someone die on Twitter like every few days. You know what I mean? That's not normal. It's not good for us. I don't think it's good for, like, our souls, to be honest with you, to, like, sit there and see, like, I think about with, like, Charlie's assassination video. It was everywhere. You couldn't, like, escape it. You know what I mean? Like, it was in every single post, every single reply. You couldn't escape seeing him get shot in the neck, you know? I saw that video probably 100 times. That's not good for you. And just like with anything else, any other death that's happened, it's not good for you to just see it over and over again. Thank you for the $5 super, Gary. I'm not religious, but I agree with religion as a strong moral framework. I vehemently agree with the need for a counterpoint for moral degeneracy. Well, I appreciate the don't know. My response, of course, would be, you know, I follow Jesus. I believe Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. You know, I know not all of you guys are Christian. I'm not going to say, it's hard because, like, it's not like I'm like, that's not okay. Like, you're not allowed to be here. Everyone is welcome here. You can be a leftist and you're welcome here. You can be on the right and you're welcome here. You can be LGBT and you're welcome here. In fact, I have some mods that are. Like, I'm not kicking anyone out. I'm not going to allow anyone to, like, bully you. Now, someone might not agree with something that you believe in, just like you might not agree with something I say or something someone else says. But we're not going to get into the whole, like, you know, you don't have a right to exist. Like, we're not going to, because everyone has a right to exist, right? Now, someone might disagree with, you know, how you live your life, what you believe. And again, you're probably going to disagree with them. That's okay. That's when you agree to disagree and you move on and you don't let it, like, ruin the comfy nature of like the Discord or the chat or whatever, because it's just not worth it. But as for me, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I follow Jesus, I believe in Jesus. I obviously believe he's true, and I was talking about this a little bit the other day on my Patreon, for the rambling audio for the month, but it's like, if you are genuinely, and this would go for like any religion, I guess, but if I'm genuinely a Christian, so I genuinely believe that Jesus died on a cross, was resurrected, I believe he died for all of us, for our sins, I believe in heaven, you know, I believe in all, so if I believe in all these things, of course I would want you guys to be Christians, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a judgmental thing, and it's not a mean thing. It's like, obviously, I would want everyone to know who Jesus is. I would want you to experience what I've experienced. I would want, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's like something so awkward about it. That it's like no one wants to offend anyone. Nobody wants to like step on anyone's toes or hurt anyone's feelings. But like, I'm not going to lie to you and say I don't hope that you find, you know, Jesus Christ and that he changes your whole life. Like, I do hope that. And if you're like not okay with me saying that, like, you know, that's totally a you thing. But that's the truth. That's how I feel. So, you know, it's what I genuinely believe is true. And so I feel like at the very least, even if you can't relate to me, hopefully you can see that it comes from a good place, because like it's a genuine thing that I feel, you know what I mean? So, yeah. From watching The Chosen, I believe Jesus would accept my preferred gender. As a Christian, I believe it's quite, you know, clear that God makes us as we are. I don't believe that being trans is correct. I'm not saying this to hurt your feelings. I'm just being honest with you, you know. Like, again, you're free to live your life how you want. But I personally believe, and I've done a lot of research about this, these were not things I wanted to come to terms with. Like, I want to make that incredibly clear, because I feel like some people think I'm really happy to say these things. And I mean, I am happy to say what God's word says, because I believe God's word to be true. But like, my flesh, these were not things that my flesh enjoyed hearing. And I still struggle with things sometimes. Like, when it comes to like the whole LGBT stuff, when I first started like reading my Bible more, and I started, you know, like really considering whether or not God was real, I was like, okay, but like, I don't want to believe that. You know what I mean? I mean, I'll be honest with you. In my life, I've had many trans friends. I've dated trans people in the past, in high school and in early college. Online dated, but still. I had lots of friends that were trans. I've lost almost all those friends now, because they cannot, even though I would tell them, I love you. This breaks my heart. And I'm not going to get emotional. But it does. It breaks my heart. But, you know, the Bible says what the Bible says. I get it. It's hard to lose friendships because I'm trying to walk with God and do the right thing. But I won't lie. And, sorry, I don't mean to get emotional. But I'm not going to sacrifice what I believe to be the truth just because I want to keep a friend that clearly doesn't love me how I love them. Because I feel like if they loved me how I love them, they would understand where I'm coming from. Sorry, that got emotional. I just lost a lot of friends. Like, a lot. Because you can imagine, like, as someone who used to be very left-leaning, that, like, a lot of my friends were also left-leaning, right? Like, my best friend of years and years and years was super. And then whenever I like started being more open about things, like it was like I got cut off, you know? And it's hard. It's very hard, but that's another thing. It's like if I was like genuinely just like grifting and I didn't actually believe anything, you think I would like give up all these people that I care so much about, you know? Like, you think I would say any of this stuff? I wouldn't. Sorry. I'm a very emotional person. And that's okay. It's okay to be emotional. But I say this to say too, though, like, because I know I have viewers that are, you know, gay, trans, whatever. And I do love you guys. I love you. Even if I don't agree with everything that you believe, I still love you. And I hope that you can see that. And I know some of you do see that. And I appreciate that. That's all I can really say, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's difficult. And it kind of goes back to like what I was talking about earlier with like villainizing people. And I think a lot of people do villainize trans people. And I think a lot of it is unfair. Simply because I think a lot of trans people really, really do struggle with their gender identity. And I've seen that struggle. And it makes me sad. You know, that doesn't make me happy. That makes me very sad. So, anytime I see someone on Twitter, like, making fun of people who struggle in that way, they make fun of things like suicide, they make fun of, that's disgusting. I think that's awful. That is not Christ-like. It's just wrong. So, that's how I feel about that, but, yeah, I don't know. This stream has been kind of crazy, but it's been good, though. I like being able to be open with you guys and talk about things, but yeah, I mean, it's been difficult. Like, my walk with Christ has been hard. I've lost a lot, but I've gained a lot, you know? So, at the end of the day, all I can do is what I believe is right, and, you know, I have to, pretty much for everyone, you know, you have to just be able to live with yourself. You have to be able to go to bed at night and close your eyes and be able to sleep with what you've said and done. And I'm able to do that because I believe that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Even when it's hard, even when you lose friendships, even when people on the internet get angry at you, you know, at the end of the day, you gotta just do what you believe is right, so. It's easier to villainize one side than it is to understand. Well, I feel like, I don't want to be unfair to anyone. I feel like for me, maybe it's easier for me to not villainize certain types of people because I was once like friends with so many of these people, and like I was in these circles, and like you know what I mean? So it's like I don't know, and I had different beliefs myself, and like, so maybe it's just different versus someone who's maybe always been on the right and always had those opinions and beliefs, and so they can't understand what it would be like to think differently. I don't know, but, you know, all I can do is just be myself and share what I believe is true and talk about Jesus, and I believe Jesus loves all of us, and I do genuinely like want everyone to follow Jesus because, like I said, I believe it to be true. I think it's what's best. You know, it's not a mean thing at all. But, you know, I would never force anyone to do anything, and God doesn't force people. It's your decision. It's your choice. And I think it's important to have choice, right? Because if God forced us all to follow him, that wouldn't be love, you know? That would be like psychotic. If a God forced you to love him, I mean, you would have like no choice. That's not love. It's like what people say, like, if a man like chained you in his basement and made you like, you know, marry and love him, that's not love because someone forces you. That's why he gave us free will. So all I can do is, you know, share the gospel when I can and pray for people and just try to be the best example I can be. Not that I'm perfect, because I'm not perfect. I'm certainly not perfect, but I just try to be as Christ-like as I can be. And, you know, it's difficult on the internet. The internet is very difficult. As a randomer who's just found your stream, and to ask a heavy question as an agnostic. Oh, you're good. I actually used to consider myself agnostic. What made you believe in God, and what makes God real to you? It's a good question. I mean, honestly, and I'll talk a little more about this, and then we can react to Reb's video. But, yeah, I always considered myself agnostic because I wasn't ever going to be... I might have said I was atheist a couple times when I was younger, but really, for me, the issue was proof. And I was like, all right, I always felt like I don't have proof that God exists, but I was like, I also don't have proof he doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of presumptuous to be able to say there is no God, you know? So I ended up calling myself agnostic. For me, and you can watch my testimony video on my main page if you have some time and you're interested. And I kind of go into it a little more deeper. Basically, long story short, I grew up in a religious house, but the people that were in my home were not good examples of Christ. I went through a lot of verbal abuse and some physical abuse, and it was just not a great experience. I had a lot of resentment towards the church because I felt like religious people hurt me. And so I went off to college and was like, I don't care about anything. I don't believe in God, blah, blah, blah. Years later, I had some really bad things happen to me. And I kind of hit like my rock bottom, I felt like. And I found myself praying and crying out to God to save me and to help me and to give me strength and make me feel safe. And I was just kind of confused because I was like, you know, why am I praying? I don't believe in God. And I feel like that's actually kind of common. You know, people who you're not really religious, but when something bad happens, you find yourself praying. It's interesting. And I started thinking about it more and more. And I don't know, my papa passed away too around the time. And he was very Christian. But he was a great example of Christ, in my opinion, and I was very close to him, and I just had this urge to like look into Christianity more and the Bible and read it and just learn more about it and like, you know, is God real? Why was I praying to a God I don't believe in, and why do I feel like comfort from it? You know what I mean? So honestly, I just started looking into things more, and I was, you know, doing a lot more research, and I found out that there was actually a lot more proof for God's existence than I ever realized, or Jesus Christ, you know, that he was like a real person. He really existed. There were like lots of transcripts that, you know, show he existed. And I was very intrigued by that because I never realized there was there were literal transcripts still existing, like not just like, you know, like original like manuscripts or whatever. I never realized that. Yeah, even like from other cultures, mentioning, you know, a Christ, which was Jesus. And so, yeah, I just kept looking into it more and more, and I just felt something. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. And some people might think I'm crazy, and that's okay. You can think I'm crazy. I just felt something very strongly, and I am an emotional person, but I went to church for the first time in a long time, since I was a kid, or maybe a teenager. Palm Sunday of last year, and started consistently going every Sunday pretty much after that. And yeah, it just gave me a lot of peace. It gave me a lot of comfort. I just really started to believe that it was real and true. And eventually, you know, I fully put my faith in Christ, and I was like, you know, I believe this is real. At the very least, in the beginning, like, I wanted to believe it was real. And then eventually I was like, no, I think this is actually real. Because if I didn't believe, I struggled a lot with doubt, which I think a lot of people struggle with doubt, but I just I would tell myself, like, if I don't have any faith at all, because I'd be like, I just don't have faith, you know what I mean? And I would be like, I just don't have enough faith to be a Christian. Like, I really would feel that way, but then I was like, if I had no faith, and the Bible says, like, you need faith, what, the size of a mustard seed, you know? You can move mountains and stuff. But I'm like, if I had no faith, why would I be praying? Like, if I had none, zero faith, why would I pray to a God that I have no faith in? That doesn't make sense. Like, logically speaking, that makes no sense. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I just started praying more, going to church, reading my Bible. I read through Genesis. I read through all the Gospels. Now I'm in Exodus right now. I read through Job. I read all of Job. That was very depressing. Job was very sad. Getting involved in church was very helpful to me. I think joining small groups as well has been very helpful. Meeting other people that you can kind of share your feelings with honestly, you know, like you want to join a church that's like you can genuinely like ask questions and no one's going to judge you or shame you for it. Just like the other day in our small group that we've been going to, you know, I was very honest. I was like, you know, sometimes I read things in the Old Testament and I don't like what I read. You know what I mean? We were talking about God hardening Pharaoh's heart, and then like the killing of all the firstborns, you know? Like that's difficult stuff to read. It's hard. But it's nice to be able to talk it through with other people who understand and who you can just like talk to, you know? And at the end of the day, you know, we all agree. We're like, you know, God is good. You know, I believe God is good. But it's hard to read and understand things sometimes. And you know, I do read some things and I'm like, dang, that's really hard to reconcile, you know? But I have to remind myself that God knows better than I do, you know? If I was, you know, God, I would make things a lot different and the world would be very bad. You know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes you just have to remind yourself, like, it's okay. I feel like it's okay. And this is just my opinion. I'm not like, you know, preaching or anything, but I feel like it's okay to be confused about something or something feel uncomfortable, but you just have to, you know, remind yourself, like, God knows better than me. Like, the Bible says his ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. And that's true. And so, you know, we might not be able to understand why God does something, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have a good reason for doing it. Even if I can't understand exactly why something happens, you know, or, you know, we were talking about like God's providence and stuff the other day. And, you know, you see the world, you see bad things that happen in the world, you know, you see like natural disasters and you ask yourself, like, how does God allow these things to happen, you know? And it's hard. Like, I'm not going to sit here and just say, oh, it's all so easy and, you know, you'll never have any questions and you'll never struggle with things. Like, no, it's difficult. But I feel like you just have to have faith that God, at the end of the day, like, God is in control. God is good. And, like, that's all I know, you know? It's hard. But and that God doesn't do evil things. Like, he himself does not do evil things. God only does good. Now, will he allow evil to happen so that his plan can be made, even through those, like, sinful choices or whatever? Yeah, I think so. But does God do evil? No. God is good. So, but it's a lot, you know. If you guys are genuinely interested in learning more, our Discord is 18 plus. Obviously not for NSFW reasons. It's just like a safety thing to keep minors out. But we have a Christian channel. If you have questions, there are people in there that, you know, chat sometimes, and there are pretty good conversations in there. We try to keep it pretty respectful. Every now and then people go off the rails a little bit and we have to rein them in, but most of the time I'd say people handle themselves pretty good. And we have the Bible bot, so if you put a Bible verse in there, it pulls it up, which is pretty good. So yeah, if you ever are interested, I think a Bible study stream would be dope. I did those before. I just really don't want, you know, I've thought a lot about it, like where my content was going to go. And I'm comfortable, like, speaking about God, like I am right now. I don't ever want anyone to look at me like I'm a preacher, or even like I'm, like, trying to teach really lots of people, because I don't feel like I'm at a stage for that. However, like a Bible study where we're kind of like all learning together, which I have did that, and I don't think that's bad, but it just kind of is hard. I want to make sure, like, for instance, like when I did the Bible study before, it's like I had already read through it myself, so I kind of knew what I was doing. But I never want it to be like a, you know what I mean? Like, I want it to be like a, we're learning together. I'm not an expert. I don't know all the answers. Like, we're just kind of reading through it together and discussing type thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I don't think that Bible study is like preaching or teaching. I just want to make it very clear that it's not that, because I don't want anyone coming and thinking that I am doing that. Do you know what I mean? That being said, I'm not opposed to it. You know, I've actually been wondering, like, doing it on stream was great and all, but I almost wonder if it would be more productive to do it in the Discord and maybe have like the stage or whatever where a few people can come up at a time and you can actually talk to each other, like, verbally, because it's kind of hard too whenever I'm the only one talking and everyone's just chatting, and it's like, you know, during a normal stream it's fine, but when you're doing something like a Bible study and people are having to, like, type really long messages in the chat, it's kind of hard to, like, have a good flow. Do you know what I mean? Also, the devotionals, I want to make more devotionals. I'm sorry. When I wasn't able to stream for the last few weeks, I just didn't have my computer with me available, so I also couldn't make devotionals. I couldn't make any videos. I want to make some more of those. I'm not going to commit to making them every day because I just feel like it kind of can get overwhelming at times, and I don't want it to feel like a chore to make a devotional video, because that's kind of sad, I feel like. But I actually did record a few ahead of time. So I would like to do more of them for sure. So yeah. Thank you guys for chatting with me about all this stuff, by the way. It's been nice. I think definitely, or in X space, but I don't know. X is kind of scary. I feel like I would trust the Discord more. I feel like X, I don't know. I feel like people might jump in and, like, something bad might happen on X. I feel like Discord would be better for sure. And I also want to get back to our the chosen nights tonight, right? Was I doing it Monday or Tuesday? I think it was Monday, and then we changed it to Tuesdays. It's set for tomorrow. Do you guys think I'm gonna do a poll? How do I do a poll? Where's my poll option? Is it /poll? That is not correct. Don't laugh at me, chat. Why don't I see a thing for a poll? I see a goal. Should I make it a super chat goal? No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. Okay, but seriously, I don't see how to make a poll on here. Am I blind? Engage with your audience. Oh, here we go. Start a poll. Okay. Chosen movie night. And it'll be 6 p.m. EST. I'm gonna ask Monday or Tuesday. So go ahead and vote which one you'd prefer. Would you rather them be on Monday nights or Tuesday nights? Because we were doing Monday for a long time, and then we switched to Tuesday for a while. But, I'm fine. Someone said Discord is going to go belly up due to the ID rule they just put out. Possibly. You know, I need to do some more research on that, Night Owl, but from what I understand, the new thing is for, like, age verification locked channels. So, if you're in age locked channels, it might be an issue. Like in our Discord, we have no age locked channels because we don't do anything NSFW. So like you'd be fine in my Discord. If you're in Discord servers where there are 18 plus channels that are like hidden behind the 18 plus thingy, then I think that is whenever it will create some issue. So yeah, age verification. That's the thingy that I was talking about. I couldn't think of the word. The thingy. Age verification. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the age verification stuff's kind of freaky. And I understand like wanting to protect kids. I also understand people not trusting whatchamacallit. I understand people not trusting Discord with like their ID, you know? Or any online website, to be honest with you. It's like scary. I finally started to watch The Chosen. I'm only on episode 4. I believe in the Discord we're on like season 2. Or maybe 3. I'm concerned about that. I'm not giving them my ID. I don't blame you. I mean, I'm not saying you should give them your ID. You know what I mean? Speaking of ID though, and this was kind of crazy. And then we'll watch Rev's video in a second, but I was going to share this. Did you guys see this? Did you guys watch the Super Bowl last night? I did. This was one of the commercials they played last night for the Super Bowl. Yeah, the ads were weird. I feel like usually Super Bowl ads are like the best ads ever. Like they're supposed to be like super funny and awesome and blah blah, you know. Yeah, so they played this ad and I'm gonna play it for us, and I just want you guys to like tell me your thoughts about this ad. Oh, maybe that full screen's kind of. We'll just do it like this. Tell me your thoughts, chat. This is Milo. Hold on. Is everything turned up all the way? Okay.
This is Milo. Pets are family. But every year, 10 million go missing. And the way we look for them hasn't changed in years. Until now. One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search Party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs. Since launch, more than a dog a day has been reunited with their family. Be a hero in your neighborhood with Search Party. Available to everyone for free right now. Join the neighborhood at ring.com. This is Milo. Pets are family.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of low in general. Like the audio was just kind of low on this video. But yeah, so how do you feel about that, chat? How does that make you feel? I don't know if this was this AI.
But every year, 10 million. Search Party for more than a dog. Be a hero every.
I don't know if the commercial was AI. But yeah, so Ring sounds like they are doing something. I'm not sure. Hold on one second. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I had to check on something. But yeah, that was weird, right? So I don't know how many of you guys have a Ring doorbell or know someone who does. But yeah, they're basically just admitting that they're using it for like surveillance. And let's be honest, chat. Are they doing this? Are they doing this to get, you know, all the dogs to be found? I mean, I'm sure there will be a few puppers that are found, but yeah, that's a little concerning to me. And you know, the thing is, you could like be like, you know what? I saw this commercial, made me feel weird. I'm not going to buy a Ring doorbell now, or I'm going to throw my Ring doorbell away, whatever. Well, your neighbor has one, and it is facing right at your house. So, you know what I mean? Like, even if you don't have a Ring doorbell, odds are probably someone near you has one, and it's probably, like, facing where you drive every day and possibly live. And yeah, it just kind of... That's kind of a little concerning that they are, you know, tracking us, and they can submit the surveillance. And I saw something else about how Ring was working with like federal law enforcement and possibly ICE as well as, and you know, politics aside, that's something that I'm not too sure I'm entirely comfortable with. Now, it's one thing if a owner has if a Ring doorbell owner, let's say like you have some footage and you want to share it with the police because you believe there was a crime that was committed, or even if the police say, you know, we believe something happened nearby, do you have any footage we can look at? You know, and you give permission, I think that's fine. But when they're just openly watching us, I feel like we should have a problem with that. You know what I mean? It's creepy. I'm not gonna lie. It's very creepy. And Snowden told us they're always listening through everything. Yeah, I mean, that's the scary thing too with like everything, you know? I watched, is the movie called Snowden? It's about Edward Snowden. I watched that not that long ago. That was crazy. That would maybe be a good thing to watch in the Discord sometime. Where is that on? Let me see. Where can you watch that? It's on Hulu, I believe. And Stars, I guess. And some other places too with subscriptions. But, yeah, it's kind of crazy and very creepy, for sure. Isn't that a Fourth Amendment violation? Well, I mean, I think the issue people have... I mean, obviously, just people don't like the idea of their government spying on them, right? Like, and I think that's fair to not like the idea of your government spying on you. And you'll see, like, in Snowden... And I'm not exactly sure how accurate all of this is. I mean, I would assume it's somewhat accurate. That they have technology where, like, let's say you make a tweet. And I believe it's accurate because, especially if it's like a public thing. Now, when it comes to like your private DMs, I mean, I remember there was something recently where there was a teacher and she had Snapchatted on her private Snapchat story where I think she had like, I think it was like her boyfriend or maybe her husband or someone was on it. She had a couple friends on it. And she had said something, I don't remember, I never found out exactly what she said about this kid in her class. But I'm assuming she said it was like a joke that she never should have said. I'm assuming she said something about harming a child. Which I don't think you should say, especially as a teacher, even on your Snapchat, whatever. But, Snapchat actually sent that private story. It detected what she said in that story as a threat and sent it to the police, right? So then, so many hours later, she gets a knock on her classroom door. We need to speak to you, etc., etc., etc. Which again, like, should you be making posts like that and it could come off as a threat? No, I think that's very stupid. And again, I don't even know exactly what she said. Clearly it wasn't something good because someone showed up at her house. But I mean, we see people, isn't it like in England that people make tweets like, I think it's just like criticism. Like, it's not necessarily threats. Like, it's one thing if you're threatening the life of someone, you know? Threatening to harm someone or threatening to do something illegal. But if you're just making criticisms and you have feds knocking on your door, you don't have free speech. Like, yeah, the UK police, it's very concerning, and it's honestly scary as someone who's an American citizen because, like, I don't know, I feel like we're not that different. Like, we're not that far behind. You know what I mean? Like, if we don't make changes here in the US, like, that'll be us. And it's very scary to think that, you know, you could criticize, like, let's say your government, let's say you criticize something, and again, you're not threatening, you're not, you know, doing anything like that, but you just criticize someone, and you can literally get a knock on your door from the feds and possibly go to jail, you know, possibly go to, I don't know if anyone's actually been to prison. I think so. Do you guys know if anyone's actually, let's see. Yes, multiple people have been sentenced to immediate imprisonment in the UK for social media posts. But it's like, what were the social media posts, you know? Like, were they, I don't know. Either way, it's just kind of scary. It's very scary. Yeah, I don't like that. But what I did want to do, I wanted to react to this video Rev made. If you guys don't mind us doing a little reaction. I don't know if we'll watch all of it, but I think it could be fun. Let's see here. I have to, yeah, so we can see the whole thing. Okay. So the title is VTubers are shaming fans for supporting problematic content creators and it's backfiring horribly. What a title. In the thumbnail, you can't see the thumbnail here. My desk keeps like, you hear that? That's so annoying. Anyways, in the thumbnail, which you can't see here, but if you go on his page, this is the last uploaded video. I am one of the problematic content creators in question, as you will find out. So, you guys that are here right now, if you follow me, you comment, you're watching, you are supporting a problematic content creator. And this person is not very happy with you.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the absolute state of the VTubing scene. It's not just a bunch of virtue signaling and cancellation campaigns that we've been looking at the last couple of days, but we're also going to be looking at hypocrisy. Absolute hypocrisy, not just delusions and fan fictions being written about people like myself from those who don't like me.
Personally, I just love it when someone writes a good fanfic about me. It's just so fun to see where someone's, you know, headcanon can go.
We're going to see some true hypocrisy. Now, for some context, before we get into this, yesterday I talked about this situation involving Denims, the infamous Hassan Orbiter.
Did Denims... Okay, I actually don't know too much about this girl other than I hear Rev talk about her sometimes, but did she create this image and put the words racist chud on top of it because she said she didn't want to talk about politics? And then she later on made a post about politics anyways on Twitter because the people clearly got to her, which I can't even blame her for it. I mean, these people are actually unhinged, but...
Who accused the streamer Emiru of being a racist chud.
Wow.
Now, why is Emiru a racist chud?
And this shows you that we're just using these words willy-nilly now. I'm not even quite sure what the word chud is. That's not a slur, is it? I mean, Rev said it. But, like, yeah, we're just throwing around these words. They don't really mean much.
Well, according to Denims...
It's really quiet. Can you guys not hear it well? Hold on. Should be able to hear it pretty good. I mean, I have it turned up all the way. It's fairly low. Hold on. Hold on. It's really quiet. That's so weird, because... Unless maybe I'm just really loud. The audio in OBS, let's see the filters. I can try and turn the gain up in the speaker, see if that makes it a little louder. Is this any louder?
That's because she did not want to speak on current political issues. That's it. You're now a racist chud for saying streamers are not the best source for your political opinions.
Is that still quiet? That's much better. Still soft? Oh, better? Okay. Okay, let's try this and see if this helps. Sorry, guys.
Crazy stuff, but we're seeing this sort of attitude in the VTubing scene. The VTubing scene...
There I am, chat. There I am. I unfollowed and removed people now after I've seen that they're following Asmongold, Rev, Straw. Okay, first of all, why does everyone not know how to say my name? It's always Straw, or it's Strab, or it's Starb. Like, is it that hard? Is that hard? I digress. And a bunch of other highly problematic people. What the frick is wrong with you? What the frick is wrong with you guys? People like you don't belong in my space. Okay, brilliant midnight. All right.
Is extremely woke. We all know this, but I'm seeing so many posts that are just insane. Like this one right here saying, I unfollowed and removed people now after I've seen that they're following Asmongold, Rev, Straw. You come into my home. You get my wife's name right. Now, before this person's like, oh my god, Rev is crashing out. That's a reference to the movie The Other Guys. Relax. Am I allowed to have fun? Are people like me allowed to have jokes and references? I hope so.
No.
But they're referring to Asmongold, myself, and my wife, Strawb, as well as Powder, and a bunch of other Also, pretty sure they spelled powder wrong. I don't even really know powder, but like I'm pretty sure it's a U. I digress. People, and they say, "What the frick is wrong with you? People like you don't belong in my space." Now, the narcissism. And like, okay, if that's really how you want to operate, that's fine. But then why you gotta make a whole post about it and? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you really hate us that much, you think we're awful people, you don't want to be around us. Okay, but, like, you start making posts like this, and it's like, And the main character syndrome here is insane. What space are we talking about? This VTuber... Well, they're honest and unfiltered. No competition. No fake... What does that even mean? No competition, no fake hype. Alright, anytime I see something like this, 18 plus, minors do not interact, 18 plus, I'm like, I need to stay away from this guy because this guy's kind of freaky. And I'm not shaming someone for being... Like, I would not want to scroll through your page. I can only imagine what's on there. Small, but you have less than 200 followers, and you're trying to say people who simply follow problematic people like me are not allowed in your community. Nope. That's very interesting. Very self-important, but the replies on this are interesting. Also, this image, it's a GIF that says F ice. Obviously,
I was wondering what is this GIF?
playing this with, an F-bomb popping up every 2 seconds on YouTube is not a good thing. But anyways, you get the point. They, in very stunning and brave fashion, locked the replies. But here's some of their supporters saying stuff like this. There's only 2 places I like powder. Confectionaries, as fresh.
How come none of these people can type, by the way? I mean, I know this is like a really small, like, it's like stupid, but there's only 2 places I like powder.
Snow in the winter. I like my straws and my drinks ice-free. I only rev engines, both literally and figuratively. And the gold market will eventually collapse as other precious metals become more relevant.
Am I stupid?
Amazing
I just
post.
don't get it.
Totally not deranged.
Hi
Amazing
guys,
post.
welcome
Honestly,
in.
good on you, bestie. Super proud. I'm blocked by everyone involved
on
in
you,
this situation, by the
bestie.
way. Just say you support illegals, game ending, and assaulting children and women.
Okay.
Here's the OP's response. You know what? F you. Great conversation. A lot of positive things were.
But that's the thing, right? There's never going to be a great conversation coming out of any of these posts. It's going to be like a circle jerk of people who agree with them. And then there's going to be someone who disagrees, and they're just going to be like, F you, I hate you, and you're a racist Nazi, and I wish your mother would have, taken a coat hanger, and you never would have been born. Like, it's never going to be like a productive intellectual conversation, is it? Unfortunate. If you expect, and sometimes, even I'm this naive, I guess, but like, let's be honest with ourselves. If we're expecting like an intellectual good faith conversation from anyone on Twitter, regardless of what side you're on, like you're probably wrong.
Resulting from this dialogue here, this open dialogue. Reading different opinions is how you make the most informed and rational decisions. Surrounding yourself with nothing but your own opinions is how you radicalize yourself to those opinions.
Now that's true, because I will say, like, staying in any circle, like any bubble, forever, and only hearing, your own takes all the time, and people like just like yes manning you and never pushing back ever. It's never good to be radicalized no matter what. Did I steal Rev's glasses? When will you guys understand that I had the glasses first? That these are my glasses. Those were my glasses.
And yap, slander, and some more yapping. Amazing stuff. Here is another post from another VTuber saying, respectfully, if anyone here supports ICE and what they're doing, please kindly unfollow, block, mute me, whatever. It's a shame creators would rather be silent because viewers are what bring in majority of income. Do not.
Maybe someone actually just okay, ICE aside, whatever. It's kind of controversial. We know that, but and I'll tell you how I feel about it in a little bit. But maybe someone actually just doesn't want to talk about it because like they don't want to talk about it. I know it's crazy. It might not be because they maybe they just don't want to talk about it. Maybe they just don't want to because there are psychopaths on the internet that will try to ruin your entire life for sharing your opinion, whether your opinion is one side or the other. So, I don't know. Maybe someone just doesn't want to step into the cesspit of the internet that is politics. I don't know.
Stay silent. Stand up for those who can't. F.
Also, yeah, actually my glasses that I'm wearing right now are custom for my model. But the ones he's wearing, I actually put on his computer back when we shared his computer. And I actually put that asset on his computer for my model. So that's why I say they were mine first, because I put them on there. But then he started using them all the time. But yeah, they're different than the ones I'm wearing right now.
ICE. Stunning and brave. Now, it's interesting because they start off by saying, if you support ICE, you're bad. But then in the next sentence, they say, if you're silent, you're also bad. So,
well, you know, okay, here's my hot take. Everyone wants to hear it. I support law enforcement in general, right? I support law and order. You know, I personally am probably, and you might not agree with me, I personally would be okay with people who have been here, who came here the wrong way, but have not caused any issues. They've been here for a long time. Maybe they have kids here, or maybe, I don't know, maybe a kid came here when they were like 2 years old. They didn't know that they came illegally, and they grew up here their whole life, and now they're 19. They find out they're not actually a legal citizen. Those situations I have more leniency for. I know, again, some people are not going to agree with me, and that's fine. You're allowed to have your opinions. I said this on Twitter a while ago, but it's like, there are good cops and there are bad cops in the world. I don't think that every cop is always going to be good, and I don't think every cop is always going to be bad. So, like, I don't know, but just to say, like, in general, like, if you support ICE, or if you support, you know, police, or whatever, it's like, I just think that ICE isn't above criticism, but the job is still important. Pretending that ICE is 100% evil is just silly. And that's how I feel. You know, are there certain things, like, personally, and then again, it's, like, hard because, like, you never know what's actually true and what people are saying. I've heard that it's very hard to get in touch with some people inside of some of the detention centers. If that's true, I don't love that. I think that's bad. I think you should be able to easily get in touch with someone. If you know someone's in a detention center, you should be able to talk to them. That being said, I also don't love, and I understand the arguments for it, I don't love that, you know, people have masks on and that they don't always show ID. I understand people say, like, people dox them, people harass them. I get that, and I understand, and I don't think that's right. But at the same time, if there was a masked man coming up to me and trying to take me away, I'd be kind of terrified. I don't like that. I'm just being honest. Again, you can have your opinion. You can disagree with me. I get it. I don't like it. That's my opinion. I feel like I have pretty, like, normal person opinions. I don't know. But, of course, someone like this is not going to hear me out. They're not going to think I have a normal opinion. They're going to think I'm an extremist. They're going to say F ICE. They're going to, I don't know, lash out. Yeah, I understand. Like, I understand the arguments for the masks. I just personally don't like them. I also think they need body cams. I think that they desperately, I don't know why we haven't already gotten every single, I think that helps everybody. I think every ICE agent should have a body cam. Just like every police officer should have a body cam. They should all have body cams. That helps everyone. That hurts no one. Don't know. Yeah, they are getting those. Okay, good. But yeah. And again, I feel like those are all very common sense things. And I am a woman. I'm a woman, okay? I have an emotional side to me, and I think there's good and bad that can come with that, right? But I do feel for people who come from bad situations, and I do think that we should make it easier for, you know, I don't think that it should necessarily take years and years and years and years. At the same time, I do think people need to come here the right way, simply because of vetting is important. We need to know who's coming into our country. At the same time, like I said, I mean, someone who's been here for 30 years and they came here illegally, they've committed no crimes, they've, you know, they're active in their community. I don't know. Personally, I feel like I would give more leniency to it. I understand people who say, no, you broke the law, you need to go back. I feel extra bad because I've seen situations like this happen where there are young people who came here via their parents when they didn't even know they were illegal. They didn't even know they don't have legal status, right? They get to college, whatever, they graduate high school. they find out actually they're not legal and they're gonna get sent back to like Mexico or something. It's like they live their whole lives here. All their friends are here. That's I don't like that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like that. I think they should be able to stay. And again, I'm sure people will have, you know, opinions that are different than mine. That's okay. But I hope at the very least you can understand where I'm coming from. Because yeah, I just think that there are certain situations where I would give more leniency. If you've been in the country for 30 years, you have plenty of time to change your legal status. I understand that argument. At the same time, I could see someone being afraid to do it because they're afraid that they're going to get in trouble and get kicked out. And I'm not saying that's a good excuse. I'm just saying from a human, I can see a human feeling that way and being afraid and keeping their head down, trying to just do what they need to do. And again, like I do see both sides, but personally, that's just kind of how I feel. So you don't have to agree with me. That's okay.
So basically, if you don't come out and say F ICE, you're bad, according to individuals like this.
Yeah,
Amazing
I have the
stuff.
woman diva.
And of course, point out in the replies here, here's a good example of this sort of idea and this sort of tolerance.
Yeah, I agree, Ethan. I think that if you're 20 and you've been here your whole life and you had no idea that your parents brought you here when you were a kid, I think that's awful, honestly. I don't think that's right.
That's being shared.
That's my opinion, but I don't think it's
this
right. Also, this is just crazy. We got white people calling black police officers the N-word. What?
Black law enforcement agent was called a house N-word with the hard R for simply being law enforcement.
These people are...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting and tolerant stuff.
It's not good.
But did you guys know?
Oh, no.
The Black VTuber Awards are here. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I'm going to be honest. If they wanted to do Black VTuber Awards, I genuinely would actually not care. I'm all for people doing whatever they want. However, because I know some of the people that are in this that are just insufferable, it just makes me laugh because the people are just... I mean, yeah.
And the VTubing scene is really
Strawb, the reason why people are afraid to come up to the federal authorities to start their immigration process is because a certain side makes them afraid to start the process. I mean, I can understand that perspective, but at the same time, like, I don't think that there's ever going to be, like, I think that they are afraid also because they know what they did is actually technically not legal. And so they would be afraid they would get caught and get in trouble. I don't necessarily, I mean, I understand, like, there can be pressure from different political sides, but I think that aside, I personally would think it's more of an issue of they did something illegal, because it is illegal to come here illegally, and it would be scary to admit that to the country that you broke the law in. So yeah, I get that. But I think that's more why someone would be afraid, in my opinion, is just because they did something illegal and they'd have to admit it, and, you know, they'd be afraid of if there were repercussions for that, which there very well could be, you know? Like, right now, there definitely would be with the current administration, so.
including everyone with the race-based VTuber Awards.
Yes, I am Rev's wife.
You can see this is a big deal. The Onyx Awards. Now, some of the people featured are a bit problematic, as pointed out by Savvy here. One of the main names featured in these awards.
Oh, yeah, this
that,
girl
are being promoted here said this about Kirsha.
Yeah, she got dropped from Advanced, like, I guess last year for calling Kirsha a Mayo Moon cricket. So that happened.
Much Kirsha hate has been in my timeline recently, and to that I say, keep it going, guys. I love to see those racist, Nazi, Mayo Moon crickets get dragged to filth. Wow.
Now that was a new slur I never heard before. Mayo Moon Cricket, that's pretty original. I have to give her that.
It's not just racism. That's advanced racism. Like these terms, a Mayo Moon Cricket, that's crazy. Crazy work. Ironically enough, this person lost their sponsorship with Advanced as a result of that. But that's obviously a very touchy subject at the moment. But in response to people pointing that out, the Onyx Awards has removed all mentions of this VTuber. I wonder why. Stunning and brave as per usual.
They removed all of the VTubers. I guess they don't want people to be able to see who's doing it. That's kind of weird. I don't know.
Now,
not this guy.
This Kaio individual.
I keep telling Rev, just block this guy. Like, I don't want to see this guy anymore. I've had this guy blocked for a while.
Who has been attacking me and my wife for years. This guy is a very miserable individual. And they came out attacking people like Emiru, okay? Saying approaching your 30s and not knowing anything about politics when you're living in the country currently being affected by current events involving ICE is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
And if you pretend to not have a political stance so you don't lose your racist viewer base, that's even more embarrassing. Now, of course, this guy's spouting about racism and all.
Yes, and we know the screenshot Rev is going to show because we all know Kaio is actually a racist. He hates white people.
This, well, he's a racist. An unapologetic racist, by the way, who said you can't be racist towards white people, but...
This is always going to be the gold screenshot for this Kaio. Oh, hi, Kaio. He hates the white people.
Of course, someone like you...
And also, I don't think he's white. I'm pretty sure he's like... I don't actually know. I don't want to get it wrong, but I don't believe he is white. But he does not like us whiteys over here. Us Mayo Moon Cricket.
You would know that. Now, I'll ask this very educated individual, where in the definition of racism...
Rev, don't you know this is an old definition? They just haven't updated it. Racism is power plus prejudice. That's what I learned in college in my brainwashing liberal classes.
Does it have an
I'm not joking, by the way. That's what they told us racism was. It was power plus privilege. That was the definition they gave me.
Exception for white people? Of course, this is a rhetorical question. It's not there, but of course this person will say the dictionary...
Or not power plus privilege, power plus, prejudice, not privilege, my bad. Power plus prejudice. Yeah, it's not just prejudice. Racism is power plus prejudice. Yeah, they taught that in my education courses, of course in my women's studies class, because yes, Strawb took a women's studies class in college. Whew, that was an experience. Even I wasn't liberal enough for that class. And I was pretty left-leaning back then, but I think there was like, yeah, that was crazy actually. But yeah, they told us racism is power plus prejudice. If there was no power play involved, it couldn't be racism. And of course, white people have all the power in the world, so no one can be racist to white people. You can be prejudiced, but you can't be racist. It's like, okay.
Dictionary is wrong. Stunning and brave stuff. Now, of course, Kaio, with the facts and logic, would respond to me by saying, "You support ICE, you dumb F. LMAO."
LMAO.
Now, I would respond by saying, "You're still a racist, and go ahead and post a single piece of evidence that I support ICE. You're a liar and a racist." Now, of course, I don't care if you think I support ICE or not. The point being, this person says I support ICE.
I think this was kind of stupid. I love my husband, but we all know you support ICE, and that's okay.
Show me where.
I get what he's saying though. Like, show me the evidence. There's no like, I guess, evidence, but it's like kind of obvious. But okay.
Again, I'm not afraid if you think I do or not.
Okay.
But you're making a claim. Show me proof.
Show me that proof.
They can't do that.
Yeah, he can't do that. But we have lots of proof of Kaio being racist.
They say you were just crying like a baby bitch a few weeks ago. Hope you find a new crack.
Dargon, thank you for the $5 super chat. Yeah, I know. Us mayos, they don't like us very much. Sag. Ooh, 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 ah, ooh, 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 ah. Then racism would be based on your economic and political power, not based on race anymore. And that's exactly why it's, like, stupid. Because also, like, yeah, there are also very wealthy, rich, elite black people in the world. We had a black president. Like, you know, it's just like, what? Like, I don't know. It's very weird.
Crap energy drink company to sponsor you. Which is very interesting. This person's crapping on Advance. Like, I am disappointed in the outcome of the whole Advance situation. Them dropping me as a sponsor.
Well, yeah.
Never called their product anything but good. And
yeah, it's like we've always actually like been very supportive of, like, we genuinely like enjoyed Advance. Like, Rev would drink it like every day. Like, not gonna drink it every day anymore, but he did. So, you know.
I'm curious why you have an opinion about the quality of their product. Have you tried it?
Have you tried it?
I don't know. But also, he says,
you might like it.
Hope you find a new energy drink company. Can't say anything yet. Can't say anything right now, but like, this guy's gonna be seething, and maybe I'll shoot him a DM when it goes live. I'll let him know.
Shut up.
But as they say, when one door closes, many others open. So if you're mad right now, if you're taking this victory lap, I hope you enjoy it, because the victory lap is going to turn into a seething cycle for people like you very soon. But I appreciate you wishing me luck finding new sponsors. I really do appreciate that. But
so sweet.
I respond by saying, didn't answer my question, racist. Also, who between us has posted slurs? Not me. It's you.
Yeah, and I'm curious too, because I'm pretty sure Kyle is gay, right? Or he's bi or something. He likes men for sure. And so it's like the whole, like, I've reclaimed the slur. And it's like, I guess if you just say it about yourself or your friends in like a joking way, like, I could maybe see that. But I'm pretty sure he's like talking to people like he's like using the slurs derogatory. You know, I can't speak English, is hard, but do you know what I mean? Like, this is clearly like aggressive. Like, this is hostile. This is not for his friend. Yeah, he is gay. Yeah, but it's like, okay, but you're still calling people slurs in like a mean way. Like, yeah, you're using it derogatorily, right? In a derogatory manner. That's better. Thank you. It's like, yeah, I don't think that's good. But, oh, I forgot. He has slur privilege. He can do that. I forgot. He can say the slurs. Okay.
And here's this Kaio individual. Over the past...
We live in crazy world, if you guys haven't seen, if you guys haven't heard.
Like 2 weeks, drop in bundle of...
Also, this is like, is this guy actually kind of like gay or something? And he's like, you have self-hating F written all over you. So I was like, that's really mean to say to someone. Like, this is kind of crazy. I don't know. This guy's just like so hateful though. That's why I tell Rev, I'm like, just block this guy. But of course it's free content. So Rev loves his free content. I can't blame him, but this guy's just insufferable. I've had him blocked.
A bundle of stick slurs multiple times. Like, here's the thing. This guy, let's pause for a second. This guy has zero actual criticism of me whatsoever. He's an unapologetic racist and drops slurs routinely.
Yep. One of the good ones. Goodness. One of the good guys, as they say.
Like him think I am. This is what I'm accused of being. I'm accused of being the unapologetic racist who's saying slurs 24/7. This is the progressive people. Do you not understand how ironic this whole thing is? And this guy, I think he knows the point I was making with this entire thread and everything related to it. A person like this is literally acting the way they think I do, but they have no proof to show I actually act like this. It's crazy. It's crazy, the irony here. And also notice that this guy's getting ratioed in all the replies by me. He also later goes on to basically say, like, if you're getting ratioed, that means you're wrong. Well, I guess you're wrong over and over again. And he says this: there's a huge difference between a queer man using a queer slur and a non-queer man.
Yeah, okay, sure. If you're using it like with your friends in like a funny way, I could give you a pass for that. Like, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and say you can't call your gay friends the F slur as a joke. I still think it's a little weird. Like, even whenever I like considered myself like LGBT, because I did at one point consider myself bi in college, and like I was friends with like gay. I never said gay slurs. I don't know. I've never said slurs. Like I know that's crazy, right? I just never have really wanted to say any. But I think it's very weird when you're saying them in a derogatory manner, right? To like put other people down and hurt people. I think that's not a good excuse, Kaio. Not a good excuse.
Using it. Here's the problem, Kaio. I'm not using any slurs. You are. And the fact that you think because you're a gay...
I think actually Rev did use some slurs during this video. I think the word Kaio is a slur now. It's a slur to me. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Gay man, an openly gay man, makes it okay? Dude, if there was a conservative gay man using bundle of sticks, you would be calling him a bigot. 100%. It's a rhetorical question. We all know what you would do. It's so disingenuous. But of course, he continues on saying, you show your bigotry in other ways and use your faith to make...
Oh, I love the word bigotry. It's like, what does that even mean? Okay, tell us.
Yourself seem like a good person. Massive projection, by the way. And of course, I ask, show me the other ways... The other ways I'm a bigot. Again, the only one using racist and bigoted terms is you, bro. This is pathetic. Now, Kaio would go silent. Because, of course, they asked for proof to back up the claims they're making. The bigotry
Finally,
in other
silence.
ways. That's very interesting. I've never heard that before. Congratulations. You have kept people like me surprised. Just when I thought I've seen it all. I see something new. But here's an idea of the type of people who are trying to defend this complete and utter hypocrisy. Responding to me, this person says, you routinely make content for racist losers.
Okay, pack it up, chat. That's you. That's you and me. We're the racist losers.
Who go on the attack. Or go on to attack the people you quote and put in your video. And I asked this person, who said slurs, me or Kaio?
It's a very simple question, really. I mean, it's, two answers. It's either Rev or he who shall not be named.
And of course...
Because I don't say slurs, so I can't say that name anymore.
They reply by saying... You make content for the people who say slurs and don't make any move to stop them.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize we were in control of other people. I didn't realize that people who watch me and watch my husband, I don't know if you know, he has, he's nearing 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I wasn't aware is he supposed to show up at their houses? He's supposed to message them and ask for their address and go and spank them like he's their dad? I'm sorry. I didn't realize that we were responsible for more people than just ourselves. My bad.
What does this person think someone like me has to do? Do I have to like jump?
I sure hope that I'm not responsible for everything that my followers say, including my mutuals, because they say some stuff sometimes is pretty out of pocket, I'm not gonna lie. So, I didn't realize that we have to like be mommy and daddy and walk around and approve or deny what people say and hold their hands and reprimand them when they say something wrong, because, they follow us, right?
Jump on people's keyboards to stop them from saying something. What would happen if someone is saying slurs in the replies of someone like Kaio? Does that make them accountable for what other people...
No, because Well, it's like the same stuff with like the advanced stuff, right? Like, or well, not even just that, but like with the original like Lala post, right, where Rev said his thing about Lala, whatever, about the ice stuff, and Lala's like, your community is harassing me. They're harassing me. And it was like, okay, well, we didn't say we wanted anyone to harass you. Like, sorry, you posted something controversial on the internet, and now people are being mean to you. It's not good, but like, what do you expect is going to happen when we post something controversial? You think we don't get people attacking us, but it's like you see people from her side, you know, attacking us, and it's like, are we accusing her of sending people over to harass us? No, because we have common sense and know she's not responsible. Now, if she would have made a post, which she didn't, but if she would have made a post saying, I don't know, like a direct call to action for people to come and harass us, or for people to, you know, tag our sponsors or whatever, that would be different, right? But she didn't, and neither did we. But of course, it's the internet, so.
People are saying that's totally ridiculous, obviously. But of course, this person is saying I make content for those who say slurs. Who's saying slurs? Kaio. You don't care if that guy's saying slurs because he's progressive. Amazing stuff. The hypocrisy is insane. And of course, I point this out saying, let me get this straight. Me and my wife are being labeled as racist and homophobes, deserving of deplatforming by the VTubing scene with zero evidence. But this guy who has publicly admitted to being a racist and routinely says slurs is considered progressive. Make it make sense. And then he quotes that saying, he's so mad he got ratioed that he had to make another post about me.
Bro, you never stop talking about us. In fact, I would not even know who this guy was if he didn't talk about me and Rev. I literally would never have heard of him. In fact, I used to get him mixed up with the guy who ate his own cum. Sorry, not to be gross, but like, there's another gay guy who did that. That's like his whole thing, and like he has like multiple videos on YouTube about it. Real weird guy. And I would get him mixed up with this guy. I still get them mixed up sometimes. I don't think it's this guy, though. I think it's a different guy. But, you guys might know who I'm talking about. But, yeah, these are the people that we're dealing with. So, I don't think it's the same guy. I think it's a different guy, actually. But, I'm pretty sure it's a different guy. They all kind of just blur together. If anyone knows who I'm talking about, well, maybe don't say their name because nobody wants to look that up. But, yeah, I don't know. This guy is, but yeah, I would not know who this guy is if it wasn't for him talking about us. So, there's that.
Dude, you're stalking my...
I should have lived my whole life. I'm so sorry, chat. I wasn't trying to make you want to throw up and die. But, yeah, I was just saying I would get him mixed up with that other guy, and that other guy, that was his whole MO, but we can move on from that. I'm sorry.
My page, and also, again, like, did you not bot this one? I don't understand. Like, going back to the original thread we were talking about, this guy had like 5,500 likes, and not a single reply agreed with him. Again, likes on Twitter doesn't make you right. In fact, I like seeing a large volume of likes with no support. It's very unnatural, and just shows people like this, they thrive on Twitter likes. They think validation comes from...
His name is Ian Reviews. All I had to type in, and this is so disgusting, and this is the last I'll mention it, but I literally just typed in VTuber guy who ate his own, you know, and it popped right up. That's what he's known for. He has a whole cookbook devoted to it. But yeah, I got them all mixed up. My bad.
Likes on Twitter, it's ridiculous. But anyways, guys, that's the glimpse into the current status of the VTubing scene. As always,
chat, if only you knew how bad things really are. Can we get one of these with me? Can someone edit it? Like, someone take a screenshot and like create this for me. I expect someone to create that for me because we need that in the future video. with the if only you knew how bad things really are underneath, because Truly, if only we all knew how bad things really are. Let's let Rev finish out his outro.
Always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, again, as always, guys, as always, make sure to leave your thoughts
in the comment section down below.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video,
and I'll see you next time. And I'll see you next time. Kirsha needs to know. No, I think Kirsha probably actually already knows about that guy. That's something you guys can research on your own time if you're 18 or older and want to. I don't recommend it, actually. It's kind of disgusting. Yeah. No thanks. I'm good, actually. Yeah. Yep. Do it with the pouting expression like this. If only you knew how bad things really are, chat. Hope you got that guy's permission to react to his video. I mean, the truth is, like, we could just, like, sit here and just watch Rev's videos, and I don't think he would ever copyright strike me. I know this guy personally, so this Rev guy. I'm in pretty tight with him, so I think he'll be okay. I don't think he'll do that. Today has been fun. Have you guys had a good time? This was nice. Ew. Stop saying gross things in my chat, guys. We're moving on. I shouldn't even mention that. I was genuinely saying it, though, because I genuinely do get him confused with the other guy, but let's move on. I don't want to think about it anymore. That's my bad. I don't want to think about it anymore. Joke's on me. Copyright coming soon. True. How was stream? Stream was good. Yeah, we had a nice time. I definitely think my streams are going to be more like this in the future. Like, oh, we didn't play marbles. I'm sorry, guys. I was yapping too much. We'll play marbles next time, okay? And we're also going to do some games sometimes, too. It's not just going to be chatting, but I really enjoyed this. I don't know. I always share my opinions and stuff on Twitter. I don't usually go live and share them, but I think it's fun to do so. And I'm still going to do some ASMR streams and stuff, too. So you can look forward to that. I actually just recently relaunched my Patreon. If you would like to check it out, there's ASMR. There's also like monthly rambling audios where you can hear me kind of just talk about stuff that's happened in my life. I'll go more into depth about things. And I also want to do some more React stuff on the Patreon. So if you just want more content from me, you want to support me more, feel free to go check out the Patreon. I also have a big Patreon giveaway over there on the free tier. So even if you don't want to pay for it, you can join the Patreon on the free tier and check out my post from 2 days ago about the giveaway. I'm doing a giveaway on my Twitter. And there's also an additional 5 subscriptions being given away on my Patreon itself on that post. You just have to like and comment on the post from 2 days ago. So feel free to go check that out. I appreciate all the support. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll be back pretty soon. I might stream tomorrow. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. If you haven't joined the Discord, feel free to join the Discord. It's discord.gg/darlingstrawb. You can also follow me on Twitter. Excuse me, my goodness. At darlingstrawb with an IE. And yeah. Take care, guys. God bless you as well. Yeah, I'll see you later. Bye! It's not starting soon. Ignore that. LOL. Bye! One day I will fix that, but clearly it's not today. It's just kind of become like a special thing at this point, right? Okay, bye! Oh, and we'll be doing Monday 1, by the way, for movie nights. So we'll have a movie night in like an hour. If you guys want to join the Discord for it, we're gonna watch The Chosen. Okay, bye!